All right, so there's guys out there who have an absolute garbage dating life, right? And they may be going to college, but they're going for college for a major they don't even really want to do, right? It's maybe just what their parents told them to do. And they feel very unhappy and they feel stuck where they're at, right? And these guys don't get anywhere. Whereas there's other guys out there who seem to be just killing it in life, right? I'm going to talk about the difference here specifically. I'll talk about how I was able to get out of a rut. I was stuck in a rut not too many years ago, how I was able to get out of that, and I really hope that the advice in this video will help you out. And without further ado, let's dive into it. I remember clearly I was sitting in my college, right? And I was going to college for criminology. And at that time, I had a job interview for a job that paid like 60K. And I tell you, the only thing I wanted to do at that point, I was dead broke and I just wanted to move out of my parents' house, right? Because I'd never tried like partying or, doing any sort of cool things. Because when I was in like elementary school, high school, college, I was never like the cool kid. And even if I did, by rare chance, get invited to some party, my parents wouldn't even let me go. So it didn't quite work out. But anyway, long story short, so I wanted this job so badly because I wanted to move out. And I had the job interview and I got the email as I was sitting in my college, right? I open up my phone, I see the email, and it says, sorry, you weren't selected to move forward. And I tell you, that was like one of the most crushing days. I still remember. Now I kind of laugh at it because I'm in a better place now. But I still remember. I borderline. I actually probably did cry, to be honest with you. I started crying. I was like, oh my god. I was like cursing to the sky. Like literally, I had a hysterical time, like crying and just kind of losing my shit for a little bit, right? Because I was like, oh my God, come on, God, I only asked you for one thing, and you can't even give me the chance to move out. Because I wanted to move out for years and years and years, right? And this finally seemed like my opportunity to be able to do it, and it slipped through my hands, and I just fell back into a rut pretty quickly. Now at that time, I was again going to college for a major I didn't even really want to do. It was just like something my mom suggested. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And my parents were paying for college and stuff, right? So that was again a devastating moment for me. And at that point, before that point, I'd realized something that I'm about to share, which truly did change my life. This is something I shared literally on the first video of this channel, and it's something I share in like so many other videos because it's the one thing that completely changed my life. It really is. Right. So I really hope this will help you out. And what that is finding your one thing. Now here's what I mean by that. Prior to my start of my self-improvement journey, I was very much influenced by like hustle culture. And you see these videos where it's like, oh, the perfect morning routine. I wake up at 6, I meditate, and at 7 I do this, and I have the schedule and everything is perfect. And I was quite motivated by this, right? And I would try to do similar things where I'll be like, oh, okay, today this is my to-do list. I'm gonna do this, and this. Do these 10 different things, and maybe I could stay consistent with it for like a week, 2 weeks, whatever, right? But I couldn't stay consistent with it for long. Soon enough, I'd end up leaving my routine, going back to my old ways, and then feeling like crap. And over a long enough period of time, I'd make little to no progress on my goals, right? Now, what changed everything for me was when I came across the book The One Thing, which the long story short of that whole book is find the one thing that if you were to do that, all the other things that you're concerned about would either not matter anymore, or doing this one thing would end up taking care of them anyway, right? So at this point, what I did was, okay, my career sucks. I don't want to, I was going to go into policing. I was like, I don't want to go into policing. I don't want to do shift work and do all that stuff just to not even get paid that much. So I dedicated myself to coding, and I signed up for a computer science degree. And I was like, this is my one thing. I don't care if I'm consistent with NoFap or not, if I'm meditating or not. Like, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. Did I do my coding work today? Did I put in the hours on that today? Yes or no? That was the only thing that mattered. And when I did that, when I started focusing on one thing rather than 10, 20, 30 different things, I started to make major progress on it. For coding, for example, I started my degree in December 2019, and by August of 2021, I had a six-figure job offer on the table, right? So this is, again, been a lot throughout my self-improvement journey. This is probably the most life-changing thing I've ever learned, is that focusing on a lot of things hurts a lot more than it helps, and focusing on one super high impact thing can completely change your life, right? Like through this coding thing, and I'm now able to obviously take care of my own bills, do a lot of fun things I always wanted to do, also take care of some of the family bills, etc. Right? So just being able to do this one thing, staying consistent with that one thing, has had a complete massive impact on every aspect of my life, right? Now I know there's gonna be people who say, "Oh, that's not real self improvement, bro. You gotta meditate at 6 and you gotta do this at 7, and oh, you don't even have a schedule, bro." Like, no, take that thought, throw it way out the window. We don't listen to those people. They put a train of thought on us that doesn't serve us at all. Look, all I'm saying, I'm not saying my method is the best, right? It's not even my method. I got it from a book, but I'm not saying this is like the best method ever and everyone should do this, right? I'm just explaining the place where I was when I was trying to do like, oh, I got to stay consistent with no fap, and then I got to meditate, and then I got to do. I just wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do it, right? Trust me, I tried, right? And I would fall off the wagon time and time and time again, right? So just what worked for me was, rather than short circuiting my brain by making sure I was consistent with all these things, and then if I slipped up, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't do my nofap properly, and then rather than falling into these negative guilt cycles, just saying, okay, if I do nofap or not, like that's great. It's like it's preferable to do it, but if I don't do it, that's fine, because that's not the main concern. The main concern is, did I do my one thing today, yes or no, right? And that's really what changed the game for me. And I look back on a lot of my self improvement journey now, right? And just one thing I tack on here is, look at what your goal is, right? Look, as far as like, say that, let's take the NoFap example, right? Because that's something I've struggled a lot with to stay consistent throughout my self improvement journey. So let's take that as an example, right? Whether or not you watch porn or masturbate, right? That, I'm not saying there aren't benefits to it. What I'm trying to say is, what is your goal? Right? Like when we talk about, for example, abstinence, right? There are some spiritual practices that involve abstinence. So there may be some spiritual benefits, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just not educated enough on the matter to say. But what I'm saying is, when people talk about nofap and then they're like, oh, these yogis used to do it. Like, are you trying to be a yogi? Are you trying to grow spiritually? Because for me, it was like, I didn't give a shit about any of the spirituality stuff. I was like, oh, apparently NoFap can help me improve my dating life somehow because, oh, it increases attraction or something. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it. All I cared about was improving my dating life, right? And now I look back to that now, and so much time wasted feeling guilty about, oh my God, I did this. Oh my God, I did that. When realistically, to improve your dating life, just go out and talk to people, socialize, you find someone attractive, ask them out. If you just did that, right? If you did that, you just put yourself out there more. Whether you fapped or didn't fap would be basically negligible, right? Because your dating life would improve drastically. Whereas if you didn't do that and you were on like day 1,000 of no fap, wouldn't even matter, right? Because your dating life wouldn't improve. So that's the only thing I'm saying is, the self improvement sometimes can be like this stingent to do list. Or at least it can feel like that to me, where it's like, woke up or did gratitude journaling and then did this and did that. And that's all great. Again, I'm not trying to say don't do that stuff, right? If you like doing that, no problem. But look at what your goal is. If your goal is to improve your dating life, right? And you're doing gratitude journaling and all this stuff just because you, in your mind, it's like, oh, I need to do these things. I need to be consistent with all the self improvement stuff, because then that way I'll be attractive and be like that one YouTuber. And then, like, I guess mainly what I'm trying to say is, don't focus on too many goals at once. That's the first thing I'm trying to say. And then once you have your goal, right, think of what is directly impacting this goal and just hammer those tasks, right? Doing gratitude journaling probably isn't going to impact your dating life that much. If you just want to get more dating experience because maybe you were similar to me, didn't have that throughout high school, college, whatever, and you feel like you're missing it, right? Don't overwhelm your brain with all these 20. Again, do them if you want to, right? These are positive habits. I don't mean to disregard positive habits, but just be very observant of what tasks you're doing that are actually knocking down your goal and which tasks are more or less useless to getting you towards your goal, right? That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm just going to end this video off by saying, be nice to yourself throughout this process, right? Look, my background in this self-improvement stuff is, I was so hard on myself throughout most of it. I mean, I've hated myself for most of my life, if I'm being just genuine with you, right? Like I've struggled with it to this day. I struggle with like insecurities, anxieties, and I struggled with them way more before, right? I never felt attractive, never felt, just the thought of someone being attracted to me. It's like, well, like seriously, you're feeling okay? Because, that's how I feel about it. So I never quite felt attractive, and and things like these. And I had a bunch of other insecurities as well, right? And throughout most of my self-improvement journey, I was so hard on myself. And because it was almost like a thing I thought you had to do, where it's like, oh, you didn't stay consistent with this, now you got to beat yourself up over it. Oh, you didn't do this, now you got to beat yourself up over it. And I look back at that now, And I realized basically how counterproductive all of that was. Like the NoFap example I gave, like feeling all this guilt over, oh my God, I didn't, that was largely a waste of time. Largely a waste of time. What would have been way more productive would be to just shrug my shoulders, move on, and then again, think about the task that's actually going to help me achieve my goal rather than feeling guilty and then reaching out for like pizza or something to feel better. You know what I mean? But yeah, it really, I think back at how hard I was on myself constantly for every little thing. I think back of how often I felt, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do that. And again, in these videos, I try to talk to my old self, and the only thing I want to say is, yeah, keep it positive, keep the faith, but also like you genuinely have no idea at the potential that you have and how drastically you can change your life. Because what I've been able to do up until this point has largely been like very risk averse, right? Where I've tried to play within the confines of self improvement as safely as possible. And even then, I've been able to accomplish like hell more than I thought was possible, right? Like I started making six figures at 23, right? And a few years before that, in my mind I was like, I don't even know if I'll hit six figures at 30 or whatever, right? So that's just the point I'm making. Like, A, your potential is a lot higher than you think it is, and B, constantly beating yourself up over every little thing and judging yourself all the time. Trust me, it's gonna be at least in my experience, was very, 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 very counterproductive. So be kind to yourself throughout the process. Be proud of yourself every single time you do something that's difficult to do, and filter down your list to only again those tasks that'll hammer your main goal, the goal that will drastically change your life. You do that, and I'm confident that you'll see great results. Now, does it mean that life will change overnight? Well, probably not, right? Like, say you're trying to achieve a fitness goal. Of course, it takes months and years to build muscle and stuff, right? So, depending on how big the goal is, we're talking shorter or longer journeys. But again, hard work always pays off, and this will be no exception. All right, keep the faith, keep it positive, keep working hard, and I'm confident you'll make it. Now, I just want you to imagine for a second. Imagine you take this advice, you run with it, and your dating life is improving day by day by day, because now instead of, oh my God, did I do my gratitude journaling at 6 a.m., you're focusing on the task at hand that's actually going to improve it, focusing on those major tasks, and you're seeing great results here. I want you to imagine that now that you've seen yourself improve, right? You've broken barriers previously that you thought impossible. Your confidence in yourself is improving day by day by day. But most importantly, right? Most importantly, you're breaking free from this mental hell that you created for yourself. I had created, like, I'm realizing this now again. The ideas that I had in my mind about, like, oh, if I go to this social event, oh, people will think I'm weird, or if I get rejected by this person, my life will be over. Like, if I ask this person out, they reject me, my life will be over. These were like mental hells borderline that I created for myself, mental prisons that I've lived in for again 5+ years now, and now I'm slowly dissolving those bars, right? And now I understand that as I put myself out there, I understood how I was making all this out to be the scary. Oh my God, it's so scary to do when it really wasn't that scary of a thing to do, right? So I created these mental prisons of myself. Of, I am this person, I am unattractive, and people don't like me. And when I go out in social situations, it's awkward, it's weird, and my dating life sucks. And I had built that mental prison for myself. And as I'm putting myself out there, those bars are disintegrating. And the same will happen with you as you keep on putting in that work, right? So imagine that those bars have disintegrated. Now you're confident. Your confidence in yourself is improving. Your self-esteem in yourself is improving, right? Imagine that. And that's the path you're on. Hey, keep working hard. I believe in you. But what I believe doesn't matter. What you believe matters. So I hope you believe in yourself too. And that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Ultimately, I want this to be our positive little community where we help each other, support each other, and help each other get to the next level in life. So please come join the community. I'll leave my Instagram, TikTok in the description, also somewhere here. Please do support there as well. Please do like, comment, subscribe. And just to be transparent, what I'm trying to do here is, look, I like my job. It pays me well, all that good stuff, right? But at the end of the day, I don't quite feel like my passion for that job is there. So I'm taking a risk on this YouTube thing. I'm genuinely passionate about self-improvement, and it's literally what I've done for the past 5+ years. I, of course, do it to this day. So I'm taking a chance on this YouTube thing, hoping my channel takes off, it gets traction, and that way I'll be able to take this on full time, and I won't have to wake up in the morning. Again, like my job, it's honestly not a bad job. So it's not like I wake up in the morning like dreading to go to work, but just the passion is not there. It's just like, oh, it's another day at work, right? And this doesn't quite feel like that. So I'd love to take this on full time and actually feel passionate about what I do. Any support, please like, comment, subscribe. All that support will help me make this dream a reality. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.